Right guys, welcome back to Matrix Uploaded. We are looking now at some algebra and looking specifically at trinomials, the solving of quadratic equations. And Matrix will know this, grade 11s, I don't know if you know this, but for any trinomial, have a look at this. If your A is not naught, any quadratic, we have a formula. Now I'm going to show you what this formula does. It's brilliant. Okay, now don't panic with it. It's called the quadratic formula. In fact, the quadratic formula can be used to solve any trinomial. It's got to be the best thing that they ever discovered. Now watch this. Let me take an example. The quadratic formula can be used to solve any quadratic equations. Take this guy here. Now that's a meanie. Okay, there's no common factor. And I think grade 10s, you're going to have to help me with this one to be able to factorize this thing. Well, let's pursue this. I'm sure in grade 10s and 11s, you're going to know this, and Matrix big time, shoe shine as well. Now, what we could do if you were in grade 10, well, what I could do is maybe take the factors of 3x and x, and 18, well, there's a whole lot. Can you think of 18? What is it? 6 times 3, 9 times 2, 18 times 1. Or you could even reverse them. 6 times 3, 3 times 6. Remember that technique. Now, I'm going to use 2 and 9 for 18. Now, this specific one's going to work. Remember, if it's a plus, the signs have got to be the same, and in fact, negative. So we've got to work with 2 negatives. Okay, now let's cross multiply. This is quite a complicated method. 9 times 3 is 27x, and x times 2 is 2x. And then with the same signs, because of the plus and because of the minus there, we need to get the middle term of minus 29x, which we do get. Okay, look at this. These definitely give you minus 2, minus 27's minus 29, which is cool, it's that. And then we factorize. We've got 3x minus 2x minus 9. And you've got your little factors there. Quite difficult, mind you. Okay, so once we've got that, we then use the zero factor law, put them both equal to naught. This one's easy, x is 9. Bring the minus 2 across and divide. And we've got, now think about it, 2/3 and 9. Now, I don't know about you guys, that was terrible. That is such a long method of doing it. The quadratic formula is even better. Now, let me show you. If you use the quadratic formula, we're going to call the 3a, that's b, and that's c. Now, let's substitute in minus b. Look at that, minus b plus minus the square root of the b squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, multiplied by c divided by 2a. If you go back and you look at the quadratic formula that I gave you, minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It's on the formula sheet as well. So when you see that, all you do is you go to your trinomial, you get your a, b, c, and substitute them in to the formula. That's so important when you do that. Let's just look at the quadratic formula again. Look at it. It's minus b. This is given to you. So we've got a, b, and c. We've got a, b, and c. Now let's go further. Let's come back. We've got our a, b, and c. We've substituted in. That's 29. Okay, minus and minus. Then if you work out this simply in your calculator, just plug it in. Minus 29 all squared, subtract that, gives you 625. The bottom is 6, no problem. The square root of 625 is brilliant because it's 25. Now look at this. If you then square root the 625, you get 25. Now let's break it up into the plus version and the minus. This gives you 29 plus 25 is 54 over 6, and this gives you 29 minus 25 is 4 over 6, which guess what? Is 9. 54 over 6 is 9 2/3. Guess what? Those are the exact same answers as you used when you were doing the grade 10 method. Now, listen, and Matrix especially, if you can't factorize a trinomial, you get that in sequences, use the quadratic formula. Now, sometimes quadratic trinomials do not factorize at all, and they tell you round off to 2 decimals. Now, look at this. If you have this, multiply out and bring across. So it's 2x and 4, bring it across. And so that's important. Just remember, people, it's 2x and 4, and then you bring them across. That's your A, that's your B, C. Now, if you go and test this, I'm not going to do it, you're going to see that none of the grade 10 methods are going to work. Okay, so the quadratic formula comes to the rescue. Okay, so 3 minus 2 and minus 4. Now let's go there, and we have got our values, our formula, minus b there's b, plus minus the square root of b squared, plus minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 2, which is b squared minus 4a is 3, and c is minus 4c, b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And then you've got your net. This is important. This comes from the formula on the formula sheet. Now let's tidy it up. 2, okay, now let's think. 4 minus 2 squared is 4, plus 12 fours are 48. So 4 plus 48 is 52. Now with this, I'm gonna use a calculator to do it. So use it in. Okay, so people, and then you tidy it up. Now we've got this. Now 52 cannot be square rooted nicely. It's an irrational number, so what do? We use a calculator, break it up into 2 parts. 2 plus that guy, and there. And now all you simply do is use your calculator, round off to 2 decimals, and you've got it. Don't go away, we'll be back with some more wonderful mathematics.